Are you ready for fall yet? Honestly, you can't be, because first you have to make something like this. Hey there, and welcome to the Totally Fierce Crochet channel. My name is Thomas, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this super easy granny square scarf with joining granny squares on the go. Now this project is done really super fast and super easy. You just make granny squares and then connect them or join them on the go. And in the end you get such a beautiful piece that is just perfect for the colder, windier weather in fall and winter. And after just a few squares you have yourself such a beautiful scarf that, if you also use a super cozy and comfy yarn, you will have something to snuggle up in it when it gets a bit colder. Now this scarf uses a specific joining technique that I recently discovered by a channel called Play Hooky with me, and I absolutely had to incorporate it into this project because I always wanted to make a granny square scarf, and then I found the perfect yarn, and then the joining technique suddenly appeared, so I just combined all my ideas and everything into it, and the result is this absolutely beautiful granny square scarf. So are you ready to get to know how to make your new favorite fall scarf with just granny squares and easy join and a little fringe, because fringe is fun? Here we go. And here's what you need to make yourself your new favorite scarf. First up, the yarn. I used Knit Pal Cotton Bliss. This was a first for me. I was skeptical in the beginning, but I ordered a pack from Amazon, from the Knit Pal store, and what can I say? I was blown away how beautiful this yarn is. It's super soft. They have very pretty colors. This one here is called Peppered Red, and it's a mix of cotton and acrylic, 30% cotton, 70% acrylic. It's 100 grams, and as you can see here, 160 yards or 147 meters. So you can do quite a lot of it. I mentioned it before, it comes in a pack of 4 skeins, and for my entire scarf I only used about 2.5 skeins. So I definitely have some yarn left for another future project, or maybe I will get a few more colors and then just make a second granny square scarf. If you're interested in trying this beautiful Knit Pal Cotton Bliss yarn, I'm going to put down a link in the description. It's an affiliate link. I just want to mention that. So in case you click it and then order your yarn directly from Amazon, I might get a very little percentage back. That of course supports myself and my channel. And in addition, here's a little extra. I won't say anything, I just put it in here. I found this on another label that you can use if you place a purchase. Up next, of course, the crochet hook. I used a 6mm crochet hook. On the label it says for the yarn that you would need a 5.5mm, but of course I wanted to keep it very soft and squishy, so I just went up 0.5 millimeter to a 6mm crochet hook. Then of course the scissors and the yarn needle to sew in those yarn ends, and with that we are good to go. I saved you my very last granny square to make it together with you, and first I will show you how to make the granny square and then how to make this very easy and pretty connection of the squares. And I think it's such a clever join, and it creates such a beautiful connection in between. And of course you have the holes when you like drag it out, but you always have some holes when you're doing granny squares, as you can see here. So this doesn't really bother me at all. I just think it's super pretty and light and airy. And in the end, we are going to also add a little fringe, because why not? Fringe is always fun, and I think it's the perfect piece to add some fringe. And here we go. I start my granny square as always with a magic circle, so I do as if I would do a slip knot, and then I take my yarn end and pull it through that hole in the middle where I have my finger now, like that, and then I just close the slip knot, place the hook in, and here we go. Here's our magic circle. And we start, of course, with a fake double crochet, or as some also might call it, a stacked single crochet instead of the typical chain 3. And for that, we go in the magic ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, as we would do a single crochet, and then we will go in the front bar underneath it, yarn over, pull it through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2 to have the fake double crochet as the beginning. And we will do fake double crochets when we start each of the rounds. Up next, to finish our first granny square cluster, we make 2 double crochets, so yarn over, go in the magic ring, grab the yarn, pull it through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2, and yarn over and pull through 2 to make a double crochet. We need 1 more to finish our first granny square cluster. And here we go. Up next will be our first corner. All of the corners are the same. We chain 2, and then we make our next cluster, so 3 double crochets. Here we go. Then chain 2 again, and the next cluster, and chain 2, and 3 more double crochets, all in the magic ring. Here we go. Now we can close the magic ring. I won't close it completely. I will just leave it a little bit open. Usually I just drag on it in the beginning, but it will definitely hold like this. And now we close our first round by making a half double crochet in the top of our fake double crochet. So yarn over, go under both loops of that top stitch of the fake double crochet, yarn over, pull it through, 3 loops, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to finish our first round. And as you can see, you already get the square shape. If you're interested in seeing how I make granny squares that always look perfect, make sure to check out the video linked up here with my top 3 tips about how to make perfect granny squares every single time. And now we can continue with round number 2. And for round number 2, since we are already here in the corner, we are going to start with a fake double crochet. And what I do here is I go right in that next vertical bar that I have here from the half double crochet, yarn over and pull it through, yarn over and pull through 2, as if I would do a single crochet. Then again, grab the front bar again, yarn over, pull it through, and yarn over, pull through both of them to have a fake double crochet in the beginning. Then, of course, we make 2 more double crochets, and before you close the second double crochet, we just press pause. So here's the second double crochet, and I didn't finish it. If this would be like a super regular granny square, then we would finish it like that and then continue directly in our next corner space right here. I tried it, but personally then it would be like very meshy. And of course I wanted to have it a bit more cozy and fluffy, which is why I do something like right in between the traditional granny square and a solid granny square. So I will always use the middle stitch of my clusters to close the gap from here to here a bit better. And from here I will just do another double crochet, but this time I will go in the middle stitch here from our cluster. So I go in the top of that stitch, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2. So now I have basically 2 unfinished double crochets next to each other, and to finish it off I yarn over and pull through all of the 3 loops. And like that, you can probably also see it, the gap in between here, the space is a bit smaller, and we have an additional stitch even though the stitch count is the same. And we do exactly the same thing to go to the next corner. So you yarn over, go back into the same middle stitch of the cluster, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So we don't finish this one, and then we yarn over and start our next double crochet in our corner space until we have the both of them in an unfinished way. Then yarn over and pull through the 3 loops, and like that we went from this side, made a little bridge to the center, and then another bridge to our next corner. And this is basically how we will continue all the way until the end. And we are now at the corner, so we need 2 more double crochets. Then chain 2 as always in the border. Then yarn over. First we make 2 double crochets. And then we do exactly the same thing like we had it here on the first side. So yarn over and start the next double crochet until it is half finished. Then we stop right here, yarn over, go in the middle stitch of the cluster and make another half finished double crochet, and then yarn over and pull through all 3 of them to have our little bridge. Then we go from here the same way. So we make first an half finished double crochet, then yarn over, go in the next corner space until we have 2 unfinished ones next to each other, and then yarn over and pull through 3 loops until we have our little bridge. And again, same thing for the corner, then 2 more double crochets, chain 2, 2 more double crochets, and then the next side, same thing, half finished double crochet, yarn over, go in the middle of the cluster, the second half finished one, yarn over and pull through 3 loops, and again the same thing to go to the other side. And like that we finish the round. And at the end, same thing, half double crochet in the top of our fake double crochet from the beginning. So go under both of the loops, yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 3 loops, and like that our second round is done. If your magic circle opened a little bit, you can of course close it by dragging on it. That's absolutely okay. And here's how it looks after 2 rounds, and we can do exactly the same thing for round number 3 and round number 4. So of course I will show you. Again, we grab this front loop from the half double crochet, yarn over and pull it through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, then go back into that vertical bar, yarn over and pull it through, yarn over and pull through both of the loops to start with a fake double crochet. Then again 1.5 double crochets basically. Here we go. And then we do the same thing. The only difference that we have now, we have 2 granny square clusters on both sides with 3 stitches, and then we have like our little bridge here in the center. And whenever you have like a typical granny square cluster with 3 double crochets, we then always make the bridge part like we had it here. And whenever we get to a bridge, we are going to make a cluster, a typical granny square cluster in here. But of course, I will show you. So first up, a bridge. So we make another half finished double crochet in the second stitch from the cluster that we have here. And then like that, our first cluster here at the beginning of the round is done. Then yarn over, we are bridging it now to the center, to our previous bridge. And here's the half finished double crochet, then yarn over, go right into the bridge, and I'm going really in between the 2 stitches. Yarn over, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2. So now again, we have the 2 unfinished ones, then yarn over, pull through all 3 of them. So this is the first stitch of our new cluster. So the second one in here is a regular double crochet. And then the third one is going to be just the beginning of our bridge to go to the next corner. So yarn over, go in the same space, yarn over, pull it through, 2 loops, half finished double crochet. Then again, we make the next half finished double crochet in the second stitch or the middle stitch from the previous cluster, 2 unfinished ones, yarn over, pull through 2. Then again, we are just think about building bridges. You go from one, or jumping over stones in the water. You just go from one stone to the next, and like that, you end up then, of course, in the corner space. And the corner space is the same throughout. Once you have that first stitch, you make 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets, and then we are going to bridge again. So yarn over, make a half finished double crochet first, yarn over, go in the top of the middle double crochet from the cluster, and finish the new cluster, then double crochet halfway through, yarn over, search for our bridge, which is right here. You can always see it when you have like this bulk up here, those 2 stitches at the top of a cluster. You will find it here, and then yarn over, go in the bridge, and here we go. Then of course we have to create a cluster in here, so we make a double crochet first, and then we start the next bridge, half finished double crochet, go in the top of the previous cluster to finish it, and then start again in the same stitch, and like that we are already in the corner, and the corners are the same. And this is absolutely everything we continue this for one more round. So in the end we have 4 rounds only, and then we already have the size of our granny squares. Of course, feel free to make smaller granny squares if you don't want to have your scarf too wide. So then you can also stop after the 3rd round, but that's really optional. That's up to you. And I will meet you once I have all the 4 rounds done. Remember to close each round with a half double crochet, and always watch out for those bridge spaces in between, and everything else is good to go. So see you later. And here we go, round number 4 complete. This is how the half solid, half whatever you would call it, this is how the half granny square now looks like, and I think it's super pretty. It's very squishy, so it's definitely something perfect for colder weather or windy weather. And now we can start with a little single crochet border. And then once we reach the second side, we are already connecting it to our existing scarf, or if you just started with it, then you know how to connect it. But first, let's make a little border. First up, we go just into that corner space, grab the yarn, pull it through, yarn over, and make a single crochet. Then we make single crochets all along. In the end, it should be 14 single crochets that we do here. And the 14th single crochet is, of course, in the corner. Then we chain 2. And now we start connecting. So as soon as you have 2 squares, then you just lay them next to each other, like I have it here. Up next, we take out the hook from the loop, and then we go in the corner space right here, and then pull the hook through, grab the loop from the square that we want to connect, and just pull it through that space. You can drag on the yarn to make it a little bit smaller here, the loop, and then we go in that space again and make a single crochet, and like that we already have our very first connection right here. And now we can move on. So we are now continuing with our border in the new granny square, and we are going to make 3 more single crochets first. So 1, 2, and 3. So now we have 4 single crochets in line. Then we release the loop, and then we count up here 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this 4th stitch, we go from the top with our hook, grab the loop again, and pull it through to make the next connection right here. And then we go back down to our new square, and we are now going to make again 3 single crochets, just like the amount of stitches needed for a granny square cluster, like that. And of course you can always count them, 1, 2, 3. And then of course we release the loop, we count 3 stitches up here, 1, 2, 3, and then grab the loop and pull it through. And again 3 single crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Then again release the loop, count the stitches, 1, 2, 3, and grab the loop, pull it through, and now we go down. And since this is the end, we do the same like we started this side and make 4 single crochets, and the last one is again in the corner. And then we chain 2 first, release the loop, we go into our corner space right here, from the top, grab the loop, pull it through, and we are just closing this connection by making another single crochet in the corner. And like that, believe it or not, here's the connection in between. I think it's a super helpful thing, especially if you're not into like joining squares the regular way, and it gives like a flat join and it looks absolutely pretty with the rest of the granny square structure. And I'm just moving the yarn. Let's finish the border together, and this is very simple. Again, we make single crochets all along the side, and for the corner, single crochet, then we chain 2. This chain 2 was also a connection in the previous 2 corners, and in the same space another single crochet. So as you can see here, the chain 2, this is exactly where I placed the first join on the second granny square, and from there we continue. It's our last side that we have to make, and our last corner, which of course was the beginning, we make a single crochet, then we chain 2, and now we can already cut the yarn. And we pull it through, and now we finish the round with an invisible finish. And for that we are not going in the first stitch that we have here, we are going in the second one from the front with our yarn needle, pull it through, align the stitches so the new stitch will be right on top of the very first stitch, and then we go from the top in the back loop of our last chain element, and usually I also go in the back loop of the previous stitch that's just underneath it, and then just drag on the yarn to complete the round here of V stitches, turn to the back, and now I usually just go through some of the stitches here all along, and then cut it. And now we also have, of course, the beginning from our magic circle. So if you haven't dragged on it yet, make sure to drag on it to completely close the magic ring. And I just put it on my yarn needle, and I just go along this center a few stitches just to be 100% sure. If you have made the magic circle like I made it, then usually they are quite closed, but you can never be too careful with this. And like that, we added a square, and like that you can add as many squares as you like, and they will always look super nice together. I really absolutely love how this granny square scarf turned out. So easy, so simple, and with such a beautiful, cozy, fluffy yarn that it almost feels like chenille, even though it's not. And it has cotton, which of course I always love. So this is really pretty and beautiful in my opinion. So now to like give it a little bit of an extra, I'm going to make a fringe, a very simple fringe. Of course, we don't want to do like too much, and for that I will just like measure quickly, probably the same size like I had here for my square, so I keep it a little bit squarish, and then I will just take this. You can of course take multiple of those, and maybe I do that because it would be a bit weird to have like just one and then do the other one. So I'm just taking both of them. So that they almost have the same size. You can take one of them, and I usually align them at least a bit, and then take the scarf. It doesn't matter which one of the stitches you do first. I usually go in there from the back and then grab the yarn for the fringe, pull it through, and then yarn over and pull through that loop, and then just close it like that. You get like this little knot up here, and the fringe is attached, and like that we do this on both sides like the beginning and the end. Again, just put the yarn over your hook, pull it through, yarn over, and just pull it through to get your little fringe. You can, of course, make a double yarn and then have it a bit thicker overall, but I think this is absolutely enough. Just a little extra, because I always love when the wind blows the fringe and it looks pretty. Again, from the back in the stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, and yarn over with both of them, and then just pull it through. And then both of your fringes are ready on both sides. You can, of course, always trim them a little bit, but honestly, it doesn't really fall into place if these yarn strands all have the same length. And this is supposed to be fun, not 100% accurate. And like that, your new favorite fall granny square scarf is done. So how do you like this super easy granny square scarf with granny square joining on the go? I hope you love it as much as I do. I'm a little bit sad that this project is now over, but of course I can always order more yarn and different colors and then have a second one or a third one, because they are just super comfy and super cozy and they work up so fast. So I hope you will have fun making yourself this granny square scarf. And of course, I hope to see you back again next time, only at the Totally Fierce Crochet channel, where it might probably look a bit more like fall. But anyway, have fun, happy crocheting, and see you soon. Bye. Have fun making this beautiful scarf. So pretty.